Hey, friend. Welcome to Purpose Unlocked, the space where dreamers, doers, and changemakers like you come to build legacies that truly matter. I'm Christy Smith, your anti cookie cutter coach, sustainable legacy builder, and author of The Intuitive Entrepreneur, here to help you build a business that doesn't just look good on paper, but feels good in your bones. If you've ever felt that quiet pull for more purpose, more freedom, more impact, you're in the right place. Every week, we'll have real, unfiltered conversations about what it takes to build a purpose driven business and a life that actually feels good. You'll hear stories, strategies, and mindset shifts from visionaries who are redefining success their own way, authentically, intentionally, and unapologetically. Because this isn't just about growing a business, it's about creating a legacy that lasts. So take a breath, grab your coffee, and let's unlock your purpose together. So, welcome to our final December episode. It's also our final 2025 episode. And today's theme is that we're going to go deeper into the kind of legacy that isn't measured in numbers, but in how people feel after interacting with you. So, I am going to tell you about Sam. And Sam is, Sam is a kind of entrepreneur who can build anything, right? The programs, the funnels, the systems, the communities, like she can do it all. She is a rock star. She prided herself on being high capacity, high vision, high delivery, right? And in her mind, her legacy was going to be the things she created, right? The curriculum she perfected, the revenue milestones she hit, the content she had polished until it sparkled. And she saw her impact as something measurable and trackable and quantifiable. All those KPIs that we talk about in the corporate world and all of those like metrics that you can like track and you can graph it, and that's what she thought it was going to be. And one afternoon, like during a workshop that she was hosting, right? So this is in the middle of her doing her thing. And, she wasn't doing anything extravagant. She was just guiding her group through an exercise on self expression. Simple, gentle, just human, right? We've been there. We've taken workshops where that was happening. And one of the participants raised her hand after that exercise was done and looked at Sam and said, "You made me feel safe enough to finally trust my own voice." And it hit Sam, right? Because in that moment, she realized that her real impact wasn't in the structure of her programs. It wasn't in her perfectly written like modules or those beautifully designed slides. And it wasn't even in the strategies that she had taught, right? It was in the space that she created for people to breathe, to soften, and to see themselves again. And so that legacy moment, that's her legacy moment, right? That moment when she understood that what people remembered wasn't what she had built, but it was how she had helped them, how she had held them, how she provided space for them. And Sam came to me after that. That's when we started working together. But from that day forward, she redesigned her business, or I shouldn't say redesigned, not in the terms of like she threw everything out and started from scratch, not that redesigning, but like designing her business around the emotional impact that she was creating for her clients instead of the output. Remember, like she had saw all the KPIs, what milestones had she hit, and she didn't want to do that anymore, right? So she added spaciousness is a good term for it to her containers so that people could process and integrate and grow without feeling rushed, right? She created safety at the core of every client touch point, right? Even in her marketing. She leaned into her resonance instead of performance. So she let her message land instead of trying to prove something all the time. Prior, just to give you kind of a little context on that, it was like, I've done this and I've helped people get to X and they've made X amount of money. Like, that's what she had been doing before, and she stopped doing that, right? And she allowed depth to guide her, not speed. That's something we've talked about all this month, right? The shift that she experienced, subtle to probably everybody else except for her. For her, it was profound, right? In response to that shift, her community grew like a wildfire, right? And she's not shouting any louder. She's not telling people what to do. She's not pushing them. She's not like beating them over the head, right? People felt seen by her in a way that they hadn't. And so that's what attracted. That was the attraction factor. Her business became a place where people exhaled and a place where they came home to themselves. And that was her legacy, right? It wasn't all the metrics that she thought it was going to be. It was how she made them feel. And so the lesson I want you to take from Sam's story is that your legacy isn't just the things that you build, right? It's not the product. It's not necessarily the service. It's not the curriculum. It's not the book. It's not the content that you write, right? It's that emotional experience that people have in your presence, in your work, in your leadership. That is what your legacy is. People will forget statistics. They're going to forget the tactics that you use, but they're not going to forget how you made them feel, especially in a world that so often forgets to hold space for feeling at all. Right? Like we hear that all the time. Everything's a 10-step, 5-step. You can do like this in 90 days, whatever it happens to be. But like, how do you feel about that? How do your clients feel about that? How do your customers feel about that? Right? I have 3 reflection questions for you to wrap up the year. And related to what Sam's story, right? So, number 1 is, what do people consistently feel when they work with you? We talk about, I use sometimes the term emotional fingerprint of your leadership, right? People will tell you if you ask them. Please ask them. How do they feel when they work with you? Do they feel rushed? Do they feel pressured? Do they feel like they're getting beat over the head with, what is it? Or do they feel like, I was supported? Like, maybe people actually do want to move fast, and there's nothing wrong with moving fast, right? As long as you're supporting them in a way that they can move fast. So, how do they consistently feel? Do they have any personal touch from you at all? Is it just through the marketing? And if so, is the marketing landing with them? Do they feel supported by that? If you have staff, is your staff, your employees, are they continuing the message and making everybody feel the way that you want your clients and customers to feel? So is that continuation being experienced there? Or when they deal with somebody that's not you, are they getting a different experience? So look into that. That's all question number 1. Question number 2. What emotional impact do I want to be known for? Right? The quality that's unmistakably yours. You might be downplaying it right now, but what do you want to be known for? And number 3, how can my offers and content reflect that more clearly? Right. So, what can you build into your offers and your content to show more intention or to communicate more intention, more care, more presence? Like, how can you do that? Do people need more hands on from you? Maybe do they want one on one versus group? Or do they want the group because you're building a community? Like, what can you do to reflect what you want to put out there more clearly? All right. And as an action step, we're going to choose one emotional quality. Just one, you guys. This is the last action step of the year, so we're going to baby step it, right? Do you want to work on safety, empowerment, clarity, inspiration, warmth, steadiness? What is it for you? So choose one and intentionally weave it into your next piece of content or client interaction. Again, you guys start small because you need to let your legacy be felt and not just seen, and because we can't throw everything out all at one time at the end of the year. Just one, because we got to practice it and then we can do repetition, right? I want to thank you for tuning in to Purpose Unlocked through all of 2025, because this is my first year doing the podcast, right? So I have now completed a whole year of Purpose Unlocked, and I'm so grateful you're here. Every time you press play, you're choosing to invest in your growth, your purpose, and the legacy you're meant to create. And that matters. If something in today's episode resonated, take a moment to share it with someone who needs to hear it, because when one of us rises, we all rise. And if you haven't already, hit follow, leave a review, or share your biggest takeaway on social. I love hearing what's landing for you. Remember, you weren't made to blend in. You were made to lead, to create, and to build something that lasts. So take what you've learned today, trust your intuition, and go make bold moves toward your purpose. I'm Christy Smith, your anti-cookie cutter coach and sustainable legacy builder, reminding you that your dream isn't just possible, it's waiting for you. As we move into the new year, let's keep unlocking purpose together.